Welcome back to Chasing My Potential, where I help you discover those knowledge gaps massively holding you back. Whether it be small technical details or decision making, we cover it all, leaving no stone unturned. Here, we're breaking down Barca's 5 goals versus Real Madrid, looking at players' movement and decision making, as well as understanding how the goals unfolded. Because the more knowledge you have, the easier it is to relax on the pitch and get into that flow state. If you're anxious on the pitch, it's highly likely you have some knowledge gaps you're not aware of. So, let's try and discover some of those. Here is the first goal in the 9th minute. First, we will watch the full play without me analysing anything. To truly master your football IQ, it's important to watch the build-up to a goal like this, to see how Barcelona unlock Madrid's defence, the movements that take place, as well as the individual players' decision-making on and off the ball. Busquets receives the ball from Puyol, and I want you to notice where Xavi receives the ball for you defensive midfielders. As the ball comes in, he's making himself an option. He could receive the ball here, but instead, he stands in a position to break the line. You hear the top players and managers say distances matter to the finest details. If Xavi receives the ball here, he would have 2 players pressing him much easier, as well as not causing any problems for these 2 players receiving it in front of them. But when he receives here, he can turn with the ball and play forward. Benzema tries to press, Xavi spots him and simply spins away from pressure. Busquets receives the ball now further up without 2 strikers in front of him, who now find Messi. But you might be thinking, why is he free? We see him on the shoulder of the fullback and then he drops deep to get the ball. Barca's right back is so high playing like a winger, pinning back Madrid's winger, Di Maria. All wingers can relate, we hate when this happens. So if Marcelo follows Messi, the danger is a huge gap left for the other players to exploit. Messi plays a simple bounce pass with Xavi, who watch the play unfold, making sure to be a passing option. And now Messi plays this pass to Iniesta, who gets the assist. As I play it slowly, see what you notice. Pepe, Madrid's centre-back, gambles leaving his position trying to intercept the ball, thinking the ball is going to the striker who has dropped deep. Iniesta receives the ball free, and you could argue Ronaldo should be here to block off the pass, so Messi's only option is to go out wide. Iniesta takes an amazing first touch into space, wasting no time. Now, for his decision making. He could play it safe out wide, which wouldn't lead to much as Barca have no players on the side of the pitch. Or he could take a more risky option with a bigger potential reward and cut inside to try and exploit the defender out of position. He chops back, cuts inside and makes this pass to Xavi, who made a late run from midfield. Marcelo gets a touch on the ball which hits Xavi's back and luckily falls right at his feet. But back to the pass. The only reason this pass can make it through is because of Barcelona's striker David Villa making this run. Now the centre-back is in a 2 versus 1. Does he go here or here? If Villa doesn't make this run, he simply moves over to block the passing lane. This is why strikers have to mix it up. Not only coming to feet, but running in behind, as well as midfielders making late runs to help create a numerical advantage. Goal 2 in the 17th minute. Again, have a watch of the full build-up before we break it down. Messi receives the ball between the front line and turns as he has no pressure from behind. Busquets receives the ball, who was hanging on the blind side of the striker to receive the third-man pass. Look how this 1-2 brings Madrid's midfield together in such a small zone, freeing up space elsewhere. Messi now breaks the line with this pass instead of going for the safe option. For you wingers, look how the winger is first looking for an opportunity for a through ball. When realising it's not on, he comes slightly down the pitch to be a passing option, whilst keeping an open body position. He faces the defender up, and this exact scenario, we would see Man City, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, making this run to receive the ball out wide. But that's not Xavi's game, so he stays and receives the ball to feet, opens up and pings the ball out wide. An important thing to highlight is Barcelona seem to receive the ball with so much space. Their positioning is great, creating overloads, Watching this game, you'll see some Madrid players at times just weren't working off the ball. One player not working off the ball versus a team like Barcelona makes all the difference. It's such a huge handicap when they try to defend as a team. But I'm not judging, because I can imagine playing against this Barcelona side must be so tiring. Constantly pressing against some of the best press-resistant players in the world. Players can for sure lose their head, and just the one time when they think, what's the point in pressing? That one time can be so costly. As Xavi receives the ball here, Messi makes a blindside run, which is covered well as Iniesta. Now Villa is in a 1v1. Two small body feints and bursts down the line, just squeezing the ball into the corridor with certainty for the goalkeeper, who gets a finger to it, but Pedro is there to tap it in. But where did he come from? He was hanging on the blind side of his defender, and when the time is right, he jumps in front, catching him by surprise. Great movement. Goal number 3 in the 54th minute. Ronaldo makes a running behind, but the ball is under hit, and Real Madrid's front three are now out of the game defensively. So the fullback receives the ball with ease at the back 4. He lays the ball off to the winger, making this run, dragging away 2 players. Here, Madrid could drop in to block the passing lane. Messi opens up and drives forward with his head up, watching Villa's movement, who pulls off his marker, creating a bigger passing lane here, and then touches the ball with the outside of his foot and finishes across the keeper, hitting the side netting with amazing accuracy. The keeper positioned himself perfectly and the ball actually goes under his arm. For you strikers, watch David Villa throughout the whole play. He makes his first run here when the fullback has time and space to get his head up, on the blind side of the centre-back, and the other defender leaving his slot, creating a huge gap. A ball around here could work. He doesn't give up after the first pass isn't made. We see him constantly looking around, gathering information. And as Messi receives the ball, he goes to work again. He peels off and makes that second run, which is now successful. Goal number 4 in the 57th minute. David Villa again with another assist from Messi. Here is why it's so important to build the habit of checking your shoulder whenever you receive the ball. The midfielder is caught by surprise by Xavi, who is on his blind side. And look at this ball protection. Messi now drives forward with the ball with only one option, but the great players see opportunities that others don't. He drops his shoulder and takes 2 small touches, waiting for the midfielder to plant the feet, and then takes 2 lightning fast touches slightly backwards, avoiding the outstretched leg, attacking the opposite way the defender's hips are facing. And as simple as that, he's unlocked new options on the ball. He gets his head up straight away and spots Villa making another blindside run and plays this perfectly weighted pass. Villa finishes through the keeper's legs, a section that I cover in my new shooting course. Link in bio if you want to check that out. Once the keeper has shot off one angle, which is the far post here, he's expecting Villa to go near post, as it's the only option. So we see his leg begin to block the shot in the process, and he finishes with a stretch touch, making it impossible to see coming. The final goal, goal number 5 in the 90th minute. Benzema presses here, forcing Puyol this way. Alves chips the ball into space, which entices the defender to come out for the 50-50. But Iniesta gets there first, and the striker is now in. He slows down and faces the defender up, which in turn slows the defender down, and knocks the ball into space, crossing the ball just under the defender's leg. We see this a lot. The winger here is staying onside by being on the same line as the ball opposed to the defender, giving him a bigger head start. Perfect ball into that zone, which causes confusion for all defenders. And the winger manages to dart in front of the defender due to his earlier positioning. I think it's so helpful to watch a goal from the very beginning of the attack. Watching highlight reels of your favourite strikers' goals or your favourite midfielders' assists gives you such a small picture of what actually happened. It doesn't show you all of the movements and decision making that took place to get to that point. Because a lot of you, I bet when you're actually in that position to shoot or make that pass, you're completely fine. but it's getting in those positions, which is sometimes the hardest bit. And you get in those positions by using your brain, identifying relevant information around you, exploiting spaces, making clever runs, and moving to be a passing option. I hope these type of videos help. This sort of breakdown truly takes me all day. So if you like it, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment on any part of the play that caught your eye, or set off a light bulb moment. Maybe a bit that identified a knowledge gap for you. It's more of this sort of work that will make that difference that you're hoping for. Training drills alone isn't enough. Keep discovering your knowledge gaps, but most of all, keep chasing your potential.